What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Speak On It with your co-hosts Dom and Biv. Um, Jam Pack show today. I'm excited. Got tennis in there, basketball, baseball, football. Um, Meat meal comment. So, hey, let's jump right into it. But before we do that, make sure that y'all go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Make sure to let y'all people know that we are live on Facebook and YouTube. Um, so let's go and talk about Tatis contract, man. Let's talk about that. Start with baseball. So
Huge
10
contract.
years. I mean,
Huge.
14 years. 340. When he first signed it, when I first saw it, man, good for him, right? I started looking at the numbers. I'm like, man, you know what? I don't know how much I like it. I don't know how much I like it. I'm gonna tell you why. Because one is 24 million. It's 24 million annually guaranteed, right? He's 22. I think he's 22 years old. I feel like he is going to be face of baseball. He has the personality. He's good. I think he's gonna win World Series. I feel like they got to him early, which they should. They paid him early. And I feel like there's going to be somebody who breaks that deal, and is probably not going to be as good as he is.
14 years is a long time, man.
Long time.
That's a long. That's almost a lifetime contract at this point. Because even if think about it, even if he signs that at 18, you
32.
still going to be in your early 30s. You know, this to me, I think he's definitely worth it. I think this is another sign that the Padres are all in about winning. Like this
Mm-hmm.
was a franchise that really since what Tony Gwynn. I don't think people's really taking the Padres seriously since the Tony Gwynn days. Like so for them to be making these types of moves, I think it's great for baseball because it continues to show that even what may be deemed as a smaller market, even though it's in Southern California, it's not Los Angeles, but they're all in. They're all in. And I like this Padres team. I think they're gonna be really, really good. But I love the contract. I love the loan. I don't really like the long term of it. 14 years is a long time. You know, but he gonna get his money regardless because it's baseball. So I think that's the positive side on it for him. No matter what happens, he's gonna get his money regardless. But I think it's a great sign from the
Yeah.
Padres again, showing that they're all in for trying to win the championship.
Like I said, I love the contract. The only thing I don't like about it again is the years, the annual money. I was looking at some of the other deals like Mike Trout deal, 12 years, 430. Um, that is a huge deal. You know what I mean? But he signed that later on um his his career. They got Mookie who just signed 12 years, signed that later on as well. Bryce later on, I think Bryce was 26, 27, something like that. Um, Carlos older as well. Um, so again, when he's done with this, he'll be 36. By the time I will need to see the opt out. You know what I mean? After this stuff like that, but he'll be 36 after this. Like I know we are like, man, the Padres. And I'm high on the Padres. I think that they're gonna win World Series soon. But say they don't, and then like some of the pitching get older, some of the bats get older. Like he's locked in. You're locked in. 14 years. Like I said, if there's no trade clauses, there's no opt outs, you're locked in 14 years. you are it. Like this is it. You can't get out of it. I mean, I know. I guess you. I mean, I guess anything can happen because we did see Nolan Arenado. He signed a big deal and he just got traded. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, one thing about baseball, you can find a suitor. You'll find somebody willing to take on a contract. So if things don't start to pan out for the Padres, they'll be able to move him. You know, if he's willing to be moved. So
yeah, I'm just talking about his end. Like again, you're budding. He's a budding star. Um, and say he gonna win, and I mean they look like they got all the pieces right. And they look like they're going all in. But say after a couple of years you're not winning, you know what I mean? And how do they bring in pieces that I mean, I know it's a no cap era, but that's a long time to commit. Like Patrick Mahomes, like to me, Patrick Mahomes did his deal. You know what I mean? Like he got his championship, but say they don't get back to that level. That's a long time to commit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Long time in sports to commit to one team. It's a
yep.
long time. That's all I'm saying. Um. So yeah, that is yeah that. Shout out to my man. Another thing before we move on, before why that investment company robbed my man like that, man? I don't know if you read about it. That investment company robbed my man like that, man.
I
He owed
heard
them.
about it, but I didn't dig too much into it.
I look at it, man. Say that man. He owed that. He owed them 30 million. I guess I mean they owe. The story that they do with the minors. They start giving them money and finance and stuff like that when they play in the minors. When they invested in them. And they said that they could do a projection off of what they were from what they may go and how much they future contracts and 30, 27.7 million. Man, listen, let me tell you something. I ain't taking no. I ain't taking nothing. I'm gonna just wait. 37 million. What did they do? Did they help? Did they endorse him? Like what?
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know where that money went.
What did they do for him at the
That's
age
what I
of
want to know.
19?
That's what I want to know. I want to
Age
know
of
where that
19. What
money went.
did you buy me a house? A
I
car? Like living
and
expenses? What?
because 30
And
mil
even
is a
that,
lot of money. I don't really care what era it is. 30 mil is a lot of money. So you think at 19, 30 million, you're like, man, where in the world? What did he do with the money? Like what did you do? Like what? Like show me something tangible for 30 mil, because
and I
that's a
don't
lot
even
of money.
think they gave him 30 million. I don't think they gave him 30 million. That's why I think it's a robbery because I think that I got to pull it up right here. Investment fund invest in estimated 27 million at the Padres contract. 19, he entered into a deal with Big League Advancement, a company that offers select minor leaguers upfront payments in exchange for a percentage of their future contracts. I, again, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
like I
don't know
mean,
what they gave my man.
if you, I'm
Oh,
saying that you invested in him
ha!
30 million,
They gave that man three. They gave that man 360,000.
360,000. I mean, that's still a lot of money too, though. I ain't gonna front. I could use 360,000.
360,000. They gave that man.
That's a lot of money too, though. I mean, it ain't 30 mil, but
Yeah, it's a
360,000.
lot.
It's a nice chunk of change.
But I owe you 30 mil.
Man, what's the interest rate on that?
Yo, somebody like this is that's highway robbery. 360, and people and they don't even think. They don't think. They don't think like not you 19. You don't think Okay, you can give me 360,000 for 10% of my future earnings. Boom! I signed a $340 million contract, and then here comes this man knocking on your door. I need my 10%.
Yep.
Nah, bruh. I'm gonna give you this cool million, but you ain't getting 30 million off of me off of 360,000.
And I wonder what the contract is as far as it is future
Yo,
earnings for a certain
that
period
company
of
boy,
time.
that's highway robbery.
Is it future earnings for a certain period of time? Is it future earnings for life? You know what I mean? So like, I think that's just as important.
Nah, listen, I know he's suing them or they going to court, but I don't
Sound
know.
like
Listen,
sound like Zion.
it can't be for life,
Zion
right?
won
You
his
ain't gonna get. Listen, you
Zion
ain't
won
getting
his
that money from me. I'm sorry. You ain't getting that money from me. I'm sorry.
I might give you
Listen, I
five.
gotta hire
I
some.
give you
I
5
gotta
mils to
hire the
go.
best lawyers, bro. But you ain't getting this 3. You ain't getting this 30 million from me, bro.
Yeah, I give you 5 and you can go away. So, but you're not getting the 30.
Like, yeah, bro. Nah. That you trying to rob me. Well,
Absolutely.
they ain't trying. You just.
Yeah,
Yeah, you ain't getting
you
30
going
million
all
off of
in.
me, bro. You ain't getting 30 million off of me. I'm
You
sorry.
going all in.
You listen. You gotta come take it from me.
Oh, they going to. That's why they go to court.
Yeah, dog. You gotta come take that from me,
And
man.
you might still have
But
to come
let's
physically
move
take it
on,
from them.
man. Yeah, let's move on, man. Let's move on. Something else happened big over in the week. Carson Wentz got traded to the Colts for a third and a conditional second, which can turn into a first rounder. Percent of the snaps. He's only played less than that one time. That was when he came off of his Achilles injury, where he played 68% of the snaps. He had the back injury, and Kurt and Nick Foles took over. So for me, I said that pick is as good as a first rounder because he's shown that he's going to play every game, or majority of the game. So I like the first and the third for him. But who won the deal? Who won the trade? I think this could be one of those both teams won. But in the immediate, I'm going to say the Colts won. I think the Colts won the deal. The Colts are better suited to win now. Carson Wentz has shown and proven that he can be the guy, and he can be a guy. Like he could be a guy that gives you 30-7, and make splash plays and amazing plays, with his legs and with his arm. Or he can be the guy, who can be an MVP type candidate, caliber candidate, and lead you to a Super Bowl. So I think that the Colts won this. I think that the Eagles may regret um, doing this deal, especially if they can't find a quarterback of Carson Wentz's caliber. Like I think all quarterbacks have bad seasons. Let's just throw that out there. I think all quarterbacks have bad seasons. Um, to write somebody off of one bad season, um, I think that's telling. I think that that's just somebody trying to, um, just be smarter than everybody else. That's just how I look at it. And it's one thing to get rid of Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford, but it's another thing just to get rid of Carson Wentz and not have I'm high on Jalen Hurts. I think I'm high on Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen Hurts. I do. Um, and in the direction that the team was going in, I think that they need to move Carson Wentz. But the only reason you need to get rid of Carson Wentz is because you drafted Jalen Hurts. If you don't draft Jalen Hurts, Carson Wentz is your quarterback for the next 10 years.
I think the Eagles won the short term. And the reason why is because the Colts they're gonna take that dead cap hit, but after that, they cool. And now you. One thing I don't like is indecision, and it would have been a long process from now until preseason week 3, trying to figure out who the quarterback was. So I like the fact that the Eagles went ahead, they made the decision. We're gonna move on from Carson, and I'm gonna play the opposite end of what you said. Carson could go to Indy and be bad, and Indy could be right in the position that they've been in pretty much what the last, pretty much since Peyton. They always felt like they one player away. They had Andrew Luck, and man, if we could just get a running back, all we need is a running game for Andrew, and we'll be fine. And I feel like if Carson goes, then they're going to still just be a quarterback away if he sticks it. I do think that Carson Wentz can be a top 8, top 10 quarterback in this league. He's shown the ability to be the play at an MVP level. He's going back to Frank. So everything's going to be good. The only problem and the only issue is if he's bad. But that's long term. I think in long term, the Eagles, they're going to have to draft well with those picks, and then Carson's going to have to play out. But in the short term, I think the Eagles, they're going to take the big cap hit. But after that, they'll be fine. The question here is, what are they going to do for a backup quarterback? To me, that is the biggest question. And I've been seeing people talk about drafting another quarterback. I'm like, then you mess around and be in the same situation that you was in before, that you just came out of. So I'm not big on drafting a quarterback, but I am big on, you want to give him some competition? Maybe sign a veteran, or maybe trade for a veteran. It seems, I don't know why, but it seems like everybody is like not sold on Teddy Bridgewater no more.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like Teddy Bridgewater did a good job in Carolina. So, I mean, if Carolina is willing to move on from him, I'd trade for him if I was Philly and put him in a competition with Jalen. Both of them are young. Teddy's not going to give you the same huge hit as Carson was going to give you long term. Like, but the Eagles right now, they're in a situation where they've got to fill some holes. But I feel like they made the right decision just by moving either one of them. I didn't care if they moved Jalen or Carson. They had to move one of them. And when a team is willing to take on the majority of that contract, sorry, you're not going to get back a whole bunch of picks and players. You're just going to get a conditional pick and a guaranteed pick.
Which is cool. I like that. But I'm with you as far as I don't want them to draft a quarterback high. But this is what I'll say. Unless you're not sold on Jalen Hurts, and you better be sure. You better be DAMN sure. You better be damn sure that is your guy. So for me, like I was telling my guys, I'm in my Eagles chat. If one quarterback that intrigues me is Trey Lance. Pop. He doesn't have to start right away. And I think he has all the talent and upside to be in the same class as Deshaun Watson or a Patrick Mahomes. So if you identify that shit guy, you go get him, and you think that Jalen's just a stopgap, you know what I mean, and the bridge quarterback, okay. But if Jalen is your guy, do not draft another quarterback. Do not, and I know you talk about the Teddy Bridgewater deal. I wouldn't bring in Teddy because I think that's creating another quarterback controversy. I would bring in somebody like a Fitzmagic, like a vet. He needs a vet, like you said, just somebody that's going to be in there that is just good enough to take a job, but that's not going to take your job. Like Jalen needs to go in with assurance and confidence that I am the guy. One, because I don't think that they're going to have super high expectations this year. So even if he struggles, Fitzmagic, the only reason Fitzpatrick should come in or a vet should come in is if Jalen's injured. If Jalen's injured, it's the only way he should come in. Other than that, this is a right and or I mean no, I don't care. I guess or if we 11-2,
I mean, he starts thinking, but even then, he still needs to learn and learn the ropes. You know what I mean? So I think it's a prove it year for Jalen. So it should be his job to lose. And then next year, here's the caveat to it. I'll say this after this, as I make this point. But then next year, you'll figure out if Jalen is the guy or not the guy. But the caveat to it is if you don't get a guy this year, like you don't identify that guy as your guy this year, um, who's the guy next year?
Which is why I would bring in another young guy to push Jalen, because Jalen don't work out. You got this magic. You're still looking
You
for
still
a
looking for another?
quarterback. You're still looking for a quarterback. That's why I feel like you bring in a guy that can push Jalen and is still relatively young. You know, I don't know. I don't know. But drafting Jalen is what puts you in this position. Drafting Jalen is what puts you in this position. I know you can say Carson's play kind of helped it along, but drafting Jalen is what puts you in this position. Now you're in a situation where you've got to, because of that division, you always feel like you can win now
Mm-hmm.
because of the division. But you also have to be, you know, conscious of the future and making sure that you're in a position to win in the future. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're sold on Jalen, and I think that's the issue. Is that I don't think they're sold on Jalen.
I agree. I want to say this real quick. Why I think that um, you don't need it. You shouldn't get the young quarterback. Carson Wentz's best 2 years potentially came when there was no pressure. He didn't have to look over his shoulder and say, "Dang, Nick Foles going to possibly take my job." Nick Foles was there 2017, but it was Carson's job. It was his job. Yeah, I mean, until he got injured, and now he pressed to come back. He got injured. He pressed to come back. That injury, he said it. Yeah, I mean, and the Eagles rushed him to come back. He didn't look the same. 2019, 2018, he 21-7. Well, okay, decent year. When Nick Foles wasn't there, 2019, I want to say 27-7, led him to the playoffs. Got knocked out. You draft Jalen Hurts. I got to look over my shoulder again. Press. Try to make things happen.
I agree with you if you kept Carson, but I think Jalen is a guy that kind of thrives on that competition. I think it's gonna push him, like getting benched for Tua in college pushed him to get better. And when he went to Oklahoma, he showed that he got better. And I think going and being drafted by Philly and having that competition of Carson, like Carson, I'm getting ready to walk you down and take your job. And then he did it. So I think making sure that he stays in a competitive mindset, talking about Jalen, I think is key. I think if he relaxes, you might get what happened with Tua, where he seemed to regress, because he felt like everything was given to him. He felt like he didn't have to go out and work. And then when he got his job taken by Tua, he was like, "Oh, okay, I gotta go back in my bag of tricks and go back into the lab and get myself together." So I think making sure that Jalen has competition is key to get the best out of Jalen.
Okay. Okay. So um let's stay in the NFL. Let's stay in the NFL. Season over. JJ got released. Couple free agents out there. Couple big name free agents. What I did on my list, I didn't really mention some of the people that I think that was going to be tagged. So I did like Dak. I know Dak's probably the biggest name out there. I think Dak. I didn't really mention Dak in there because I think he's going to get franchise tag. I think it's inevitable that he's going to get franchise tag.
Agreed.
So, so I think he's going to be back with Dallas. Like Chris Godwin, I think they're going to tag him as well. So Kenny Galladay, Justin Simmons. I think all those people are going to get franchise tag. so I didn't really mention them in my free agents, but I gave you my top 10, right? First person I talked about was Allen Robinson. I think Allen Robinson is one of the most underrated wide receivers in the NFL. Who don't get a lot. He don't get a lot of press. He don't get a lot of notoriety. All he does is put up 1,000 yards after 1,000 yards. And the thing is that he's never had a decent. I can't even say a decent quarterback. He's never had.
You said Blake Bortles and Mitchell Trubisky, man.
Yeah,
Blake Bortles and Mitchell Trubisky. They're the poster child of overrated quarterbacks.
Like two quarterbacks that got drafted who are super reaches. Two quarterbacks that are super reaches. And all he does is put up 1,500, 14 touchdowns, and then 102 catches, 1,250 yards, and 6 touchdowns on a running team and a team that plays defense. And
I'm gonna take it a step further. And that's usually with not a big guy on the opposite side of the field. Like, he doesn't have a legit scary number 2 on the opposite side of the field. So they're rolling coverages his way, and he still go out and produce. So I'm with you, man. Allen Robinson is completely looked over when you start talking about some of the best receivers in the league.
So we start talking about predicting where they can go. Okay, so for me, I'm Allen Robinson. I'm looking at what just transpired in Indy. They also got about 60-something million in cap space. And I'm going to Indy. I'm Allen Robinson. I'm liking what they're doing in Indy. I like what they got going on in Indy. They need a big number 1. T.Y. is getting a little older. They got a young receiving core that Allen Robinson can help out just by his mere presence. And then he can stick it to Jacksonville twice a year. But I'm identifying Indy, and I'm saying that division could be right for the taking. I'm going to Indy.
I was torn because I was thinking about Allen Robinson too, but I was thinking of a different team, and I know their quarterback situation is in there. I guess they don't have a quarterback in my opinion, but anyway, I was thinking about the Washington football team. Man.
Don't bring them here. Don't bring them to this division.
I really was. I was thinking about the Washington football team. I'm like, man, they got to get a quarterback first. Mm-hmm. But I like the running game. The defense is solid. And then you got Terry McLaurin on the other side. That could be a dangerous duo if you bring in the right quarterback. But I'm with you with the Colts.
Yeah,
all the cap space that they have, it would be.
You got somebody else on quarterback.
It would be disservice to not go out and get a couple of big name free agents, even if you don't get them on the offensive side. But I would definitely start with getting another weapon to match up with T.Y. and then what's the young kid? Pittman. And then you got that. Then you got what? At least 2 solid running backs, if not 3.
Yep. But I think you're gonna get. I think Marlon Mack gonna be going. But yeah, like you said, you still got 2. You still got 2 solid running backs. You know what I mean? So monster offensive line. So I like it. Like I said, I like Allen Robinson there. Little Trent, I'm gonna hit you with. But I got Trent Williams. Is another guy that I identified who could make an impact, a huge impact. I got him going to the Colts as well.
The Colts have so much cap space. Even a team like Houston, for example. Houston and let's see, who else is in that division? Jacksonville
and Tennessee.
And then Tennessee. Those three other teams, they don't have the cap space or already the personnel in place to compete with Indy. Indy could go ahead and then take over that division like they did with Peyton. They could literally take over that division and just they can New England that division, literally. They could go on this run where they could automatically just be punching themselves in the playoffs every year if they use this cap space correctly, man.
I think they had the best. I think they already had the best quarterback in the division. The reason I say the best quarterback in the division because Deshaun Watson ain't there.
Hold on. Let me. Houston Texans. If you do not trade Deshaun Watson at this point, everybody should be fired. The owner should sell the team. They need to relocate everything. Get out of Texas because you're doing yourself a disservice, not only internally but externally. Like players are looking like, oh, that's how y'all treating people. That's how y'all doing guys over there. Okay, that's cool. Y'all cutting JJ Watt. You know he's still in his prime. I know he's had some injuries, but y'all cutting him. Y'all getting rid of him, and y'all don't even want to do right by the quarterback. Nah, and the quarterback. That position, that's the position you do right by. If any other position you don't want to do right by, you do right by your quarterback. So,
listen, it's so bad, man. They out here finding long-term workers. Like the president stepped down. Like that's how bad the situation is.
yeah, that organization is going downhill fast.
And then I heard a report that said the Panthers are super high on Deshaun Watson. They said we will give you 3 first rounders and Christian McCaffrey. Man, I would have ran Deshaun Watson to Charlotte.
Are you serious? I would have put him on my back and carried him. Like again, 3 first rounders. I was going to say 3 first rounders and Christian McCaffrey. If you can't find a quarterback in there, I don't know what you're doing.
Listen, you rebuild it. You just rebuild instantly. You got Christian McCaffrey. I got a number 8 pick. Okay. I don't got Deshaun Watson, but I got Christian McCaffrey, who's probably a top 5 running back in the league. And then I just draft one of these top 4 quarterbacks. Rebuild.
Immediately.
I don't know what's up with Houston, man, but yeah, the Colts can definitely, like you said, take over this division. I like Trent Williams because Anthony Costanzo just retired. So you plug in Trent Williams with a monster offensive line already. I like it. I love it. I like him right there.
I love it. I think they're going to be. I think the Colts. As we continue to do these free agents, I think that's going to be the team that's going to make the biggest splashes in free agency.
Yes, sir. So. I got Will Fuller. I think Will Fuller. I penciled Will Fuller to where everybody rejected him to be last year, which I thought he was going to be last year, and that's the Packers. They need a deep threat. They need a guy that's going to pair with Devontae Adams, who can help Aaron Rodgers get over the hump, possibly help Aaron Rodgers get over the hump. So I think Will Fuller could be that guy that helps him push the ball downfield to help take off some of the pressure that Devontae Adams has as a receiver. He's a big play threat. Plus, he also needs wide receiver because Allen Lazard, who's going to be a free agent, and I think that Valdez-Scantling is also a free agent. So Will Fuller is a big play receiver, and I think that he's prime for the Packers.
I like Will Fuller if he can stay healthy. Aaron Rodgers is he still got it. I didn't think he did, but he still got it. So they need another weapon. Let's just be real. They need another weapon. I'm not sure if Will Fuller is going to be the answer to them just because of his health. That's my only concern with him is his health. But when he's healthy, that Joker is a big play downfield threat every time. So I'm not sure where he would fit in just because of his health, but I wouldn't mind him being on the Packers because you can give Aaron Rodgers another weapon. What about Patrick Peterson? Because I kept looking at him and I was
Okay.
like, man. Patrick Peterson, one, I hope he stays in Arizona. I really do. I hope he stays in Arizona. But he's not the cover corner that he used to be. Let's just put it out there. He's not the cover corner that he used to be. But he's still a solid corner. I'm not sure where he goes, but I'm gonna keep him in the division. And I'm gonna say he's gonna go to the Bay. I got a feeling that San Francisco is gonna woo him away. I hope he does. I hope they don't. I hope he stays in Arizona. I really hope he stays in Arizona.
I like it. I do like him in the Bay. I'm gonna give you one. As soon as you said him, one that popped in mind. Popped in my head. I'll give you two. I said Buffalo. That's one of them that popped in my head. But then another one that I thought about was what if he goes to New Orleans? I don't know how they're gonna get him because I don't know they got the cap space, but I think he's from.
Well, Drew talking about taking a pay cut, so he might
taking a pay cut. Drew, just retire, man.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Just retire. Just hang it up. Just
retire and give all the money back, Drew. What? Hey, listen, whatever, man. But anyway, yeah. So, I think Patrick Peterson, man, he needs to go somewhere where he can contend for a championship. I was looking at him the other day. He's 30. He'll be 31 in July. I'm sorry. The one that instantly popped in my head outside New Orleans because he played in the Bayou, but was Green Bay to pair with Jair Alexander. But yeah, one of those teams. He needs to go try to contend with it for a championship. So I do like the San Francisco pick move. I do like going to Green Bay or going to the Bills. He needs to go somewhere where I think that he can go and compete, and he doesn't have to be the number one cover corner.
I agreed. What y'all do with Jason, man?
Jason who? Peters?
Mm-hmm.
That man, listen, we take Jason Peters security badge, we take his pads, we take his helmet, we take his clearance, we take everything from Jason Peters and say, bruh, you can't make it in the building no more. You can't come in the building no more, man. You know, like you can come as a visitor, as a spectator, but you got to wait in line like everybody else, JP, until we come down and get you just to make sure that you ain't got pads on and nothing like that. Jason Peters, stay away from the Eagles. You ain't coming back here, man. But I do think he should go to a contender.
Agreed. I feel like he still can contribute. I think he can. I don't know if he's gonna be an every snap starter, but he can definitely be a guy that you can rotate because he still can move people.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I think he's Philly, but this is Philly we talking about. So
I know
they love to be loyal to people that they should be loyal to. I'm not gonna say that they shouldn't be loyal to him, but they are loyal to guys that they should be loyal to sometimes. Sometimes to a fault, but
yeah,
I'm with
it's a business. It's a business. Yeah, so you got to understand that fine line on being loyal and knowing when to move on. So I got one to throw out for you, JJ Watt. I think we talked about him last week.
We talked about him.
So I saw him on there. I saw him out there, but it was a couple reports out there. I'm going to still have to say I'm having penciled in with the same team I think I had him in last week, which is the Buffalo Bills.
Keep hearing the Rams name come up. And I'm like, that's scary. That is real scary, him and Aaron Donald together. But wouldn't it be scary for him to stay in the division and go to the Colts? and put it to the Texans twice a year.
Coach, where y'all get all this money from, man? Why y'all got all this money?
Andrew Luck. When Andrew Luck retired, like they had plenty of cap space. Because think about it, they were drafting guys and they were cutting them because they weren't panning out, whether it was offensive linemen or running backs, receivers. It didn't matter. They were cutting guys, so they wasn't getting into a lot of big long-term deals. So they had plenty of cap space, which is crazy to think about with all the guys that they have. But JJ, I think the market for him is probably larger than people think.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure that his asking price is going to be too steep.
I don't think so either.
Because I think he just wants to win. Which is why I don't think he's going to go to Pittsburgh. I know a lot of people are high on him going to Pittsburgh, but I don't think he's going to go to Pittsburgh because I don't think he can. It's a longer shot to win there than anywhere else. Put it like that.
I think that's a third. I know they are a well-ran organization, but going into the offseason, I would say 3 teams unknowns who could potentially be 4 teams. So Eagles, Pittsburgh, Dallas, and New Orleans. Those are unknowns. Like those are teams that could win, could be fighting for a playoff spot, but there's so many unknowns, and I think Pittsburgh is a huge unknown. So for JJ to go to Pittsburgh, that's a huge unknown because who's going to be the quarterback? What you going to do with Ben Roethlisberger? What's going to happen at running back? Like it's a huge unknown to go to Pittsburgh. If I'm JJ, I would go to a team that I think that has more knowns than unknowns. So I'm with you. Pittsburgh, yeah, that's a huge unknown for me. Yeah, Pittsburgh probably the 4th best team in that division right now.
I say 3rd just because Joe not going to be healthy next year. That's it. If Joe was healthy, I probably would agree with you. What about your boy Golladay, man?
Kenny, I think Kenny gonna get franchise tag, but this is what I'll say. I think that could be. That's one of those franchise tags where I don't know if he does get franchise tag. But if Kenny don't get franchise tag, I'm gonna pencil him in Baltimore. If Kenny don't get franchise tag,
I'm with you.
Be on whatever resources y'all got. Whatever y'all got, get him.
I'd say the Lions would be stupid not to franchise tag. I'd franchise tag him and move him. And Baltimore would be one of the teams that I contact because OBJ wants out. Because he wants to play left tackle.
Perfect.
Again, it's all about, what the Lions want to do as far as the franchise tag. But I would franchise tag him to move him if I'm the Lions. I don't know if they feel as though they got their quarterback of the future in Jared Goff still, but they knew they had to move Matt Stafford. They knew that was coming to an end, and you didn't really want to get into battling him because that wasn't going to be good press. So you can franchise tag Kenny because he's probably the best asset that you have now. He's probably the best asset that you have offensively and defensively. So franchise tag him and try to move him. But if they don't franchise tag him, there are going to be a lot of teams looking to get his services. A lot of teams can use that type of big receiver. So
yeah, let me tell you, Baltimore. Juju.
Whew. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure if his team still wants him. I was going to say franchise tag.
They got 3. They got three other. They got
But
three. You franchise tag Juju, man. You got other problems.
like, I'm like, so I don't think they'll franchise tag him. I also don't think they're just gonna re-sign him long term. And I don't know if other teams, because he regressed and he never showed that he was a true number one. So if he goes into the market thinking that he's supposed to get number one money, it could be a long free agent period for him. Very long free agent period. So teams that could use a number two, I'll say Green Bay. That was when I seen Juju, I was like, man, that's a perfect fit for Green Bay. He's gonna have a dominant Devontae Adams, just like he was at his best when AB was on the opposite side of him.
Mm-hmm.
When AB was lined up on that field, that's when Juju was at his best. Put him in Green Bay beside Devontae Adams, and you got a really good receiving core for Aaron Rodgers to work with.
That'd be nasty. That will be nasty. Who I wrote down the Jets. But when you said Green Bay, one of the things I thought about the Bills.
Yeah.
Somebody, Stefon Diggs going to do all the stuff downfield and everything like that. Somebody who's going to give you a short catch, intermediate, slot receiver. You give it to Cole Beasley. Say Cole Beasley not back. I pencil in Juju.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Shoot, Cole Beasley had a better season than Juju last year, so I keep Cole Beasley for the cheap, but I got like two like a couple more. I'm real quick. Corey Davis, I penciled him for the Ravens, because y'all need a big body receiver. Somebody who's gonna go good possession catches, and I think that Corey Davis can be that guy. I think he was brought in to be a guy in Tennessee. AJ Brown turned out to be that guy. Corey Davis made plays. I think he had 1,000 yards this year. But he's gonna want to get paid, and I think that his services is better suited and elsewhere outside of Tennessee, because Tennessee is a running team, and I think they can plug in somebody else that could do what Corey Davis does, because AJ Brown is their number one guy, and their real ultimate number one guy is Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Same team, different guy. Jadeveon. What to do about Jadeveon Clowney? Because at some point we've got to stop talking about his physical physique. We got to start talking about, just his attributes as a football player. We got to start talking about production. We got to start talking about impact. And we're not getting much of that. He is a physical specimen. There is no denying that at all. But his production and impact isn't that great. He didn't. Where was he at? Seattle?
Last year? This year he was.
He was in Tennessee this year, right?
Last year he was in Seattle.
No impact on either one of those defenses. I think Tennessee was terrible all year long.
The issue with Jadeveon, man, is health, man. Like, he gotta stay healthy. Like, I saw a stat the other day about him. Like, he get double teamed a lot. I get it. You get double teamed a lot, bro. I hear you. But you was the number one overall pick. What you expect? You're going to get double teamed. Like, you're going to get double teamed. So, I get it. You double team, your win rate and everything like that. That's cool. Help for me, the biggest thing with Jadeveon is health. Jadeveon, you have to stay healthy for us to see any production. Like, stay healthy first, and then see production. I think he signs another 1-year deal. If I was him, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I said, "Where JJ? Where are you going?" All right, I'm there with you. We're a package deal. That's what I would say. JJ, where you going? We're a package deal. If you can get both of them, because his most productive season came with JJ Watt, with JJ Watt was in front with him. Where you going?
For me,
right with you.
For me, I think both of them could benefit from being a part of a defensive line package where you manage their snaps, you manage, you know, their snaps in positions, whether they're going to be in a 3 technique, 4 technique, standing up, whatever. You manage it to make sure that they can stay healthy. Which is why I think they Jadeveon 1 year deal from the Baltimore.
Listen, I was just because I think Jadeveon needs a creative mind. He needs a creative minded defensive coordinator. He needs somebody that's gonna say, you know what, Jay, you know what? Where is Jadeveon? Where's he at? Oh, he on the left. Oh, he on the right. Oh, he in the middle. Oh, he at D tackle. Oh, he how Houston used him in the beginning. Used him all over. Not he here and that's where he go. Use him all over. Stand up, sit down, all over. Use that athleticism. I thought Baltimore. I also thought Pittsburgh because Bud Dupree not going Bud Dupree's a free agent. I don't know if they bring back the Bud Dupree, but if you can get Jadeveon Clowney on a cheap prove it deal, all the talent.
Yeah, the talent is there. The talent, you can never question the talent. Only thing you can question is the production and the impact. That's it. I know coming out of South Carolina, people will question his effort. When I watch him play, I never question his effort. I never questioned his effort. You know, he does get double teamed, triple teamed, but when you're that good, it should be expected. But you've got to persevere through that. Aaron Donald gets doubled and triple team.
Triple team all the time. JJ Watt get double, triple team. Fletcher Cox. You good, bro. You good.
That's a sign of respect.
So, Aaron Jones.
Does he stay in the division?
Won't have him staying in the division.
Does he go to Chicago?
That's interesting. That'd be interesting.
Or does he go to Buffalo? Because
that's why I penciled him in at.
When they started giving guys other touches, you know, all of a sudden AJ Dillon was getting more and more touches, and Aaron was healthy. Jamal Williams was still getting more and more touches, and I was like, man, maybe they trying to tell Aaron that his days is numbered. And then they lost like that, and I was like, he's definitely gone. And I don't, and they probably feel like they can move on from him when you got the other two guys. But if Buffalo can get a running game, sky's the limit. So I only feel like that's where they should go all in at. That should be their number one priority is a free agent running back. Unless you can get like a Harris or somebody, like he might slip all the way to the bottom of the first round or something like that. Or Travis Etienne slip all the way down to the. You go do that. But other than that, I'm all in on Aaron Jones. I'm all in on Aaron Jones if I'm Buffalo, because that right there is probably the difference between them at least playing in the Super Bowl and not playing in the Super Bowl, is because they could not establish a running game all year long other than their quarterback.
I got one more. Yannick Ngakoue.
I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. I don't think he's going to stay. I don't think he's staying in Baltimore. That's for sure.
I'm with you. Yannick, he's because I don't know if he's a stand-up pass rusher like y'all used him. I know he did it. He had like 5 or 6 sacks. I think he's a hand in the dirt type of rusher. I'm gonna tell you
I'd
the
say
team that
this.
makes perfect sense,
Go ahead.
but he ain't going back there. Make perfect sense. They got all the money in the world. They need another pass rusher, but he's just not going back there.
I'll say this: he enjoyed himself in Baltimore. He had fun. You can see it in him.
Yeah, I agree.
He was having fun, but I feel like he feels as though he can be better and utilize more and in different situations and in better ways in another place. So that's I think the organization is going to probably try their best to re-sign him, but I don't think he is going to want to resign just because he probably can have a better impact somewhere else.
What about Cleveland?
And that's where I was thinking.
That's Myles Garrett.
That's exactly where I was thinking.
That could be scary. That could be scary. Opposite Myles Garrett. That could be scary for him. That could be a scary pair.
And let's go to these AFC teams.
Okay.
And I want and for me, number 5 is Baltimore. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. That's probably a reach.
What?
Yeah, man. I don't. I'm not sure if we. I'm not sure if we. I'm not sure if we're getting better. And I'm getting ready to say it on both sides of the ball. I'm not sure if we're getting better on both sides of the ball, and it remains to be seen. So, I got Baltimore at 5.
Oh man! All right, so here I'm gonna do. Number 5. This is a controversial one, but I just like the trajectory of what they're doing. Chargers, number 5. Chargers, number 5. I thought about a lot of stuff. I could have went with the Browns. I could have went with Tennessee. But Justin Herbert, the real deal. 16-point leads blown. They win those games. They are the number 6 or 7 seed in the playoffs. That's where that is come off a season where Austin Eckler was injured, Darwin James was injured, Justin Herbert wasn't expected to play. Joey Bosa was in and out. Justin Herbert gonna be the guy this year, and I think that they'll have more continuity on the defensive line, defensive front. They'll establish who their running back is, and if it's between Baker Mayfield and Justin Herbert, I think I'm gonna take Justin Herbert every time.
I have no issue with the Chargers. Again, to me, I think them along with the Patriots are the two teams that circumstances really hurt them more than anything else. If the Patriots have all their defensive guys, they don't finish 7-9. They at least win 10 games. If they don't have all the outs, they win 10 games. So, but I'm with you on the Chargers. My number 14 is the Colts. And the only reason they're 4 and not higher is because I don't know what Carson Wentz they're gonna get. That's it. If they get MVP Carson Wentz, they're probably gonna be 2. So, but
listen, I got you. no, you ain't get no argument with me for having the Colts at number 4. Yeah, I mean, but like you said, that Carson Wentz is an unknown. But so with that being said, I'm with you. I got the Colts at 4 right now as well because of the unknowns. I think they'll be a little bit higher when we do our power rankings later on, and when we get closer to the end of the season. But I think that they have the cap space, they have all the tools to get better. But as of right now, like you said, we don't know what Carson Wentz is going to show up. I'm projecting that he's going to be the MVP Carson Wentz, but we don't know. So I got to go with the Colts at number 4 as well.
My number 3, and this is where it's about to get interesting. It's about to get real interesting because people get ready to be like, "Are you serious?"
Come on, man! Don't say it.
My number 3 is the Browns, man.
Oh, okay.
My number 3 is the Browns.
I thought you were gonna give me a shocker.
My number 3 is the Browns, and it is a shocker because people know I'm not a Baker Mayfield guy. I've never been a Baker Mayfield guy, so for me to say that he's a quarterback in the team that I think is the 3rd best team in that conference, and I'm saying that they're better than my team in the division, I think that's
sound a lot.
That sounds a lot.
I got you. I thought you was gonna say the Chiefs was 3rd.
It was a debate.
I thought you were gonna say
a debate.
The Chiefs was 3rd.
It was a debate.
My number 3 is it's the Ravens. It's the Ravens. I think they got over that hump last year. I think they played the Bills. And being completely honest, I think if that pick 6 don't happen, the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. If that pick 6 doesn't happen, the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. Because that's the difference in that Buffalo game between the Ravens and the Chiefs. I mean, the Ravens and the Bills. That and Lamar went down with the concussion. I think next week they play the Chiefs, and the Chiefs can't play that man-to-man defense like they did against Buffalo. You play that man-to-man defense against the Ravens, he gonna go for 200. Lamar Jackson gonna go for 200 rushing. So, and they had them, and they got them dogs. The Ravens had dogs. I mean, on defense with that with that hurt offensive line. Buffalo could not get a pass rush on the Chiefs. I think it'd have been a different ball game if Lamar wouldn't throw that pick 6, and he didn't get concussed. So I got the Ravens as a number 3 team, and I think that they're going to actually add on what they did last year.
I hope so. Again, for me, the Ravens offensively, I don't think we're getting better. I don't think we're getting better offensively.
Well, you lost our passing game coordinator, man. You got to get better from there.
I think that was addition by subtraction. You know what I mean? That's a start in the right direction. You know what I mean? But you still gotta get a passing game together. That's gonna be effective. So my number 2 team is the Chiefs. And it's not because I don't think that they're good or anything like that. But I think people are starting to figure them out a little bit offensively, and the defense is bad, and you're not gonna keep asking Patrick Mahomes to have to go out and score 30 and 40 to win football games. Like, it's just, you're asking way too much of that offense. So to me, that's kind of why I brought them down to 2 and not at 1 this year.
I'm gonna tell you, I wanted to bring them at 3 when I was looking at it.
I told you, I debated.
I think a lot of people just, like you said, Patrick Mahomes is great. He's great. But even after the Super Bowl, if you take Tyreek out of the game, what does that offense look like? It makes you have to dink and dunk to go all the way down the field. and that's not an offense I think that they want to they want to do.
Because
Same thing
that's
like
not the quarterback that he is.
right. Same thing with Josh Allen. You seen like even in that Buffalo game against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, they was giving Josh Allen everything underneath. He would not take it. He did not want to dink and dunk down the field. But if he did, that could have been a different game. That could have been a different game if he would have dinked and dunked down the field. Same thing with the Chiefs in the Tampa game. They just don't want to do that because they're big arm, they're big play quarterbacks, so they're gonna have to adjust. So for me, I got the Bills at number 2 because of the pass rush right now, and I think that'll change once the offseason happens and they add some pieces. But I think the Bills, the Colts, the Ravens, and we saw the Chargers push the Chiefs to the brink twice last year. So I think all those teams are close. They are bridging the gap with the Chiefs. But until they make some moves, I have to have the Chiefs at number 1 because they have that guy. And the only team that the only two teams that has yet to figure them out. One plays in the NFC, and the other one, their defense is just atrocious. So, which is the Raiders. The Raiders has figured them out, but they are atrocious. And the Chiefs, like I said, I think the Chiefs has played them tough as well. I mean, the Chargers played them tough as well. But I got to see that's a young team, so I got to see that. So I got to have the Chiefs as number 1.
Yeah, and I got the Bills at number 1. I think they have a better, at least, foundation to build on as far as defensively. I think offensively, the only missing thing is a running back.
Yeah.
Which is why I was heavy on them going after Le'Veon Bell. But anyway, they are, in my opinion, a running back away from their offense being complete. Defensively, I feel like they're fine. I feel like they're hit and miss on some things, but I think it's more of sometimes a scheme than it is personnel. So I got the Bills at number 1.
I think I think Ed Oliver, he has to show more. But I think the Bills are a pass rush away. The Bills are a pass rush away from being the best team in the AFC, in my opinion. And I think the Colts are a pass rush away, and a Carson Wentz MVP type season away from making it to the Super Bowl. So I do think that the Chiefs are defensively, they have pieces, but maybe they are fundamentally flawed. Yeah, I mean not flawed, but flawed. So we'll see. So yeah, I think that those are our top picks. Top 5 picks in the AFC. Let's jump into Serena real quick. Naomi, she just won her 4th Grand Slam. She beat Serena. Was telling, and I want to ask, is she done? But the reason I ask that is because what's telling is what happened afterwards. Yeah, I mean, press conference. She is 39 by the time the big 20 come back around. She'll be 40. Is she done?
Yeah, she's done. She's done. And it's not even. She can still play. Don't get it twisted. She can still play. But the dominance is done. The dominance is done. She can still play. I think she should still play. She's still capable of playing and winning. But the dominance is over. And I'm gonna keep it 100. The pack didn't catch up with her. She came back to the pack. Like don't get it twisted. Like she just fell off. Ain't nobody catching her except for this Naomi girl. She's really, really good. She beat her in straight sets. Like it was.
I think that's why she was.
I stopped watching it because it was like, man, she is really beating my baby really, really bad right now. I can't watch it. I can't watch her lose like this. But she's really, really good. And that's really, I'm going to be honest with you, that's probably the first one in a long time where I felt like even Serena at her best is going to have to play her best to beat her. So I just think the dominance is done. The dominance
I
is
think
done.
that is why she was really crying, bro.
Yeah,
I think that's why she was really crying. Like, I can't beat this girl. I can't do
that girl put it. That girl put it on her, man. That girl put it on her.
The second time.
What I mean? But yeah, she's getting closer to 40. She had a child. Like she's been through a lot, and she's been playing tennis professionally for what, 2 decades?
Mm-hmm.
I got another question.
Go ahead.
Is she the GOAT?
Yes, GOAT, hands down. She's the GOAT. You talking about? Are you talking about women's or just tennis in general?
I was gonna say of tennis, women tennis, definitely. No, yes. I don't even think there's in my opinion, there's no question.
Yeah, no question.
Women's tennis. If you have another argument for somebody else, I don't know why, but only person that I would put above her in tennis overall is probably Roger Federer. That's it.
Yeah,
that's the only person, in my opinion, that's even in the same conversation with her to be arguing for GOAT of tennis.
Shoot, since you brought him up, so.
And I mean, we wrote him off at one point, and then he came back and won a couple of majors, which is what I think she will do. That's why I'm not saying that she's done as far as tennis is, but her dominance over women's tennis is done.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
it's Naomi time. It's Naomi time, bro. She looks when you look at her, it's like, dang, is that young Serena? Like, build,
she looks the part.
Power. She looked just like Serena. I was looking like, I legit, when it was a zoom out, I was like, which one is Serena? All
I know is I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, this ain't how it's supposed to happen. It's not supposed to play out this way. But she just like Serena, she's only going to lose when she has 15 unforced errors. That's the only way Serena loses, when she has 15 unforced errors. Unless she plays Naomi and Naomi just dominates her, which is what she did. You know what I mean? So if she can avoid her, who else in women's tennis is really going to dominate Serena? They're going to have to want her or need her to play bad tennis in order for them to beat her. Naomi can go out there and play a bad match and probably still beat Serena.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anybody else in women's tennis, even at 40, can do that to Serena.
Yeah. Serena is the GOAT. Roger Federer. Yeah, that's a debate. I was gonna ask you.
That's the only one.
I gotta ask you, is he done? I think he had an injury.
I think he had
an injury to come out of college.
They be having weird stuff sometimes. But then at the same time, you only really pay attention to tennis at the majors. You don't really pay attention to the little ones. It's the French, the Australian, Wimbledon, and the US Open. That's the only time you pay attention to it.
Yeah, that's the. So, but yeah, I think Serena will. I think Serena, like I said, she's not the GOAT. She's the GOAT of women's. She's not. She's 1A, 1B. 1A, 1B.
I wouldn't make an argument over her. It's almost like, in my opinion, where we're headed with Jordan and LeBron. I think it's 1A, 1B at this point. Like, let's just leave it alone.
I'm gonna tell you, since you brought that up real quick. Again, I've been on wax as not saying a LeBron hater, but a strong critiquer of LeBron. The GOAT, man. The GOAT status should be extended. It shouldn't. They should listen. I've never seen. I'm not a farmer. I'm not a flocker. I'm not a shepherd or anything like that. But I've never seen a GOAT singled out. I've never seen one GOAT by itself. So GOATs, man. I think they travel in packs. So like this should not be the one GOAT argument no more because this man. Because if I'm gonna be real with you, when it's all said and done, it's gonna be really, really hard to make an argument for Jordan as the GOAT. I'm just being real, with you. LeBron James will probably be the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. He will probably be top 10 in assists all time in history. Huh? Top 5. Yeah, top 5. Top 5 in assists all time.
And top 10 in rebounds.
I can see he'll probably be top 10 in rebounds all time. Like
and plays only 45.
Like and you talking about and long. You talking about this the extended greatness that he has. Like, has he had one bad season?
No.
Not one bad season at all.
He's only had one bad moment. One bad moment. That's it.
Are you talking about
2011 finals. That's it.
And again, I'm not one that subscribes to says LeBron is the GOAT. I think he's a GOAT. If I'm building a team, he's making it very, very hard for me to say, if I'm building a team, I'm taking Kobe over him, or I'm taking MJ. He's making it real.
My mind will never change. My mind will never change on any of that. I'm probably, if I'm starting a franchise, he's probably 9th or 10th on my list.
He's making it, but listen, he's climbing to me, man. He's making it very, very hard. The only reason is because he does make. I don't know if he makes his teammates better. Like, I think Anthony Davis has regressed since he's been with LeBron.
This is what I'll say. I know this wasn't one of the topics we wanted to talk about. We turned left, but I'm not a believer in that LeBron makes guys around him better. I don't believe that. I believe he makes the game so much more easier.
Yes,
for them. He makes the game easier for them. He doesn't make them better. He makes the game so much easier for them. They're going to get open shots, and they're going to get the ball right in their pocket to shoot it. Every time, I rarely see guys have to go outside of their catch radius to catch a pass for him to catch and shoot. It's always exactly where they want it. What the guy does, man, night in and night out, it's unquestioned. And I just have to be real. I've said it before. He is the greatest talent we've ever seen in basketball. Greatest talent we've ever seen in basketball. You're talking, people love using the term all around and everything like that. Forget all of that. He's just the greatest. He's the greatest talent we've ever seen. He's the most talented basketball player we have ever seen play the game of basketball. I can't make an argument against Michael Jordan. And the only thing I can say about LeBron is 2011. That is the only thing you can say about LeBron is 2011. The finals record, I only feel like he lost to a team that he shouldn't have lost to once, and that was Dallas. That was it. All the other losses that he had,
you can justify.
You can justify it. You can justify him losing, and you can justify him losing. You can say, man, his team just wasn't as good as those teams, and a couple of them he had no business being in there. 07 and 2018, he didn't have no business being in the final, but he found himself there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know, like you said, that wasn't the topic that we had on the schedule. But shoot, we talking basketball now, so let's one question I had to ask. I don't know if I was going to ask it in or now, but I'm gonna ask it right now because we talk about LeBron and that's one of his best players, his best friends. If Chris Paul was 6'3", if he was 6'3", I ain't trying to give him 6'6" or something like that. If he was just a little bit taller, would he have a ring?
No.
No.
Here's
He just wins everywhere it goes, man.
This is what I'll say. I'm gonna address something you said a while ago first. One, I don't think Anthony Davis has regressed. I think Anthony Davis has laxed because he knows he got that guy, and he knows that guy is gonna bail him out more times than not because that guy is not gonna take nights off. LeBron's not gonna take a night off. He might have a bad night shooting, but he's not gonna take a night off. Chris Paul, he'd have a ring if he could stay healthy.
Okay.
I'm just being real. If he could stay healthy, they would have beat the Warriors and went on to win a championship. And that was the Warriors with KD, mind you, people. Also, I felt like he was in a good position in LA with the Clippers to win a ring. But he nor Blake Griffin could stay healthy. So if he was 6'3", he'd probably be in the GOAT conversation. You know what I mean? He might be in that GOAT conversation with kind of like with AI. If AI was 6'3", you know what I mean? He would have been an even bigger problem than he was. But Chris Paul, man, you can't deny anything. He's a winner. He's a winner. And now him, I'm not going to say he makes guys better, but he makes guys have to adjust and play good fundamental basketball. Like Devin Booker looks more efficient. He looks more confident playing alongside Chris Paul. DeAndre Ayton is hooping. But the reason why that team is winning, I know we're going to give Chris Paul a lot of credit, but Jay Crowder is hooping, man.
Crowder looking good too.
Jay Crowder is hooping, and I'm like, yo, I'm like, man, since when Jay Crowder become a scorer? I thought he was just a defensive dude, man. But he is out here putting up some good numbers. Phoenix is looking good, man.
Yeah, Phoenix look good.
Chris Paul will never get his full respect because he's never been to an NBA final. I think he's only played in like one conference finals. So he's not gonna get the respect that he deserved, but he's definitely, in my opinion, he's a top 5 point guard all time.
Yeah, he's a top 5 point guard all time. I gotta agree with that. Speaking of injury, Anthony Davis got injured 4 weeks. Are the Lakers in trouble?
I thought they were in trouble with him healthy. I know the record doesn't show it, but they got holes that need to be filled. Is Montrezl Harrell the same guy from he was playing in the other locker room? It doesn't look like it.
Nope.
He doesn't look like the same dog that was in a Clippers uniform.
Yeah, Lala now, man. See, when you're a Clipper, you gotta fight for everything you get. Yeah, I mean, you gotta be a dog to play with the Clippers. When you in LA, you like that's big time.
Hollywood. He went from Compton to Hollywood, man. That's what it was. He went from having to get it off the muscle to now everything just handed to him.
He walked across the street, was like, it's different over here.
You know what I mean? He went from having to park in the parking garage to pulling up to the valet, man. Like, you know what I mean? He's feeling it. He's not the same guy. He's not the same guy that he was just a year ago. So
same thing. Dennis Schroeder. Listen, like you said, getting it from the muscle. He get the la. He like, it's different over here.
Yeah, man.
Y'all eating good over here.
Yep. And they're not the same. They have not been the 1 and 2 6 Men of the Year award winners last year. Well, vote getters. That's who they were a year ago. They have not shown that. LeBron's MVP season is what's keeping the Lakers near the top of the Western Conference. If he's not playing at this level, thank God he hasn't regressed. Because if he had even taken a small step back, the Lakers would be in real big trouble. But because he is who he is, they're fine. All they got to do is get home court advantage in the first round. That's it. They'll be fine.
That could be tough, man. Listen, Anthony Davis missed 4 weeks. They got a tough stretch coming up with 8 games. They just lost to Brooklyn. They got the big one tonight against Miami, which Miami been struggling against everybody. So we'll see. But if they start losing, man, they can fall because I think they lost 8 games. They can fall to 5th, 6th.
Again, it's LeBron. It's the LeBron factor. Is the reason why I'm not worried about them.
Not worried about them.
As far as during this window, long term, I'm concerned.
Okay.
Them repeating as champions, I'm concerned about them repeating as champions because I don't think that they are the same team that they were a year ago. But this stretch here, I think they'll be fine.
Right.
I think they'll be able to get through it. This is where the Alex Caruso's, the what's the guy, the Horton kid?
Yeah, Taylor.
Yeah, this is your chance. This is your chance to step up and show us something. And again, LeBron's going to give you every opportunity to show us who you really are.
I'm looking at where they could be, right? So they got a little stress. They're number 2 right now. The Clippers right behind them, a half a game behind them. Portland, who they balling right now. Phoenix right behind them. San Antonio. So during this stretch, if they start slipping, they can find themselves in the 6th seed.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see what the second half schedule is going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
But they got a tough stretch right here, man. When you're talking about, you got the Heat, Wizards, Jazz, Blazers, Warriors, Suns, and Kings.
I see one gimme there.
You do? You see a gimme?
Hold on. Let me pull it up again. Let me read it off again.
Because Bill and Westbrook, even though
they ain't gimmies no more, boy. They ain't gimmies no more.
They're not no gimme. They're not no gimme no more. So
I just see them smack Denver.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a tough stretch. But this is where this is where to me, especially after Joel just had a 50 piece last night.
Yeah, LeBron
this is the stretch where LeBron can really solidify his MVP race.
I hate the Lakers. I'm gonna tell you why. I put their schedule. I look at it. ABC, NBA TV, ESPN, TNT. These niggas always on TV.
Yep, that's the Laker factor. And then you throw LeBron on top of that equation. Yeah, they on national TV 3 or 4 times a week.
They always on TV. God darn. But yeah, bro, this schedule, man. Washington at home. Other than that, man.
And they only get Utah and Sacramento are on the road.
Yeah, they all at home. They can lose, but they can lose all these games.
Oh yeah, they could go. Oh, they can go what? Oh, and was it 8, 7? Easily.
Yep.
They can lose. They can drop all of these games. Again, there's no give me on any of these in any of these games. But I also don't think that there are any guaranteed losses, even with AD being out. Even Utah, who's playing probably the best basketball of any team in the league, I'm still not sold that they are going to just beat the Lakers.
Speaking of that, since you brought up Utah, are they legit? They have the best record in the NBA. They play tough teams. But I think they are legit. However, we seen that healthy Clipper squad last night. And I don't know if Utah is that level type legit. Clippers level type legit. I think they're legit. I think they're a good team, but I don't know if they're NBA Finals, NBA Western Conference Finals legit. I still think that they're a second round team. To me, they're the Bucks of the West right now. I think they're the.
I think that's disrespectful to Utah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think that's disrespectful to Utah. I think Utah, I think they are legit. And I'll tell you why. Jordan Clarkson.
Okay.
Jordan Clarkson's ability to be able to go get a bucket when they need it, and along with Donovan Mitchell, is what's going to solidify them. I thought Mike Conley was going to be that guy, and maybe he still can be, but I think Jordan Clarkson coming off the bench and being a bucket is what makes them legit. Now, I still think they're probably the fourth best team in the West, but I don't think there's a juggernaut in the West either. So I think anybody can be beat. And I think because of that, Donovan Mitchell get hot, Jordan Clarkson get hot, they can go out and beat a team in a 7-game series that maybe they're not favored to beat.
I can definitely agree with that. Because like I said, I don't think that there is a juggernaut in the West right now. Since I said today the Bucks are the West, let's talk about the Bucks. Do you think that they are a worse team this year than they was last year?
I'm about to say yes. And they should have pulled the trigger on James Harden. It's just that simple. You should have pulled the trigger on James Harden. I don't know why you didn't, for whatever reason, but you should have pulled the trigger on James Harden. And you can see he went to Brooklyn, and he is clearly willing to take the back seat to not only KD, but it seems like he's willing to take the back seat to Kyrie as well. So he would have definitely went to Milwaukee and fell in behind Giannis. The Bucks are 17-13, and it's only because of the rest of the East has not. Boston, for whatever reason, can't seem to get themselves together. I know Marcus Smart is hurt. I know Jason Tatum had
COVID
protocols or whatever for a while, but they can't get it together. Indy can't get it together. Toronto, Milwaukee should be running away with the Eastern Conference right now.
I'm just looking at.
They should.
Milwaukee, when they play big name teams,
smoked.
Utah beat to Utah. Brooklyn lost. Lakers lost. New Orleans, okay, it's not a real big name team, but they lost. Phoenix lost. Utah lost again. Toronto lost twice to Toronto. Like, when they played the big name teams that probably on that same level as them, they lose. The only winning team, I think the only team that they beat that like winning record type level, Denver, Portland, Phoenix. Portland, Indiana. Okay, they got a couple good wins on here, but it's just something different about this Milwaukee team. And again, I don't know if maybe they figured Giannis out. Maybe those role players aren't hitting like they was. I think Chris Middleton was having an amazing year. But it's just the other players. Like, the other players just aren't there. And again, maybe it's Bud. You know what I mean? But I just don't know if they're the numbers say that they are. The efficiency is the number one offense in the league. But defensively, they're different this year. Which is why I think that they are early exit as well again this year.
I think there needs to be adjustments made. One, I think you maximize what you're gonna get out of Brook Lopez. I don't think you're gonna get any more out of him than what you've already gotten. He's not gonna get better. I've also been saying it for 3-4 years now. Chris Middleton, I don't think he's a number 2. I don't think he can be a number 2 on the championship team. Eric Bledsoe was the scapegoat, and you moved him You brought in Drew, but you still got Chris Middleton, and you still have Giannis, who still has huge flaws in his game. He still has huge flaws in his game, and you can't figure it out right now in the regular season. Hopefully, you can figure it out by the playoffs of what it is that you want to be, the team, what type of team you want to be. I don't. Dante hasn't made the leap. He hasn't. He hasn't made the leap. I just don't. I just don't know if this team is it the coach.
Maybe.
Is it the coach? I don't know if it's the coach. All I know is the 76ers are the best team in the East. That I do know. What I do know is
I can agree with that.
that a coach they made the change at the coach, and all of a sudden they look like a completely different team. For all the people that was Doc Rivers is a terrible coach, and all the thing he's ever done was in Boston with the big three. Cool. What Doc is doing in Philly is probably get ready to get him a coach of the year. So, in my opinion, there isn't a. I don't think there's a juggernaut in either in the league, but I do believe that Philly is starting to feel like a juggernaut in the East.
Appreciate it. Yeah, man. I ain't want to say nothing, but I ain't want to say nothing. But if y'all can go ahead and slide us Zach LaVine, we would most greatly appreciate it. Y'all go ahead and slide us Zach LaVine. But I agree with you, man. It could be the coach, but yeah, I mean, so we'll see how it plays out. They announced the All-Star starters, both East and West. I know we asking the question, should Kyrie be a starter, All-Star starter? But I'm gonna ask you another one. I'm gonna throw somebody else in there. Should Luka be a starter? Should Luka be a starter? Should Kyrie be a starter?
I don't think Lucas should be a starter, only because I felt like Dame should start over him. That's it.
I agree.
That's it. I felt like Dame, his team is playing much better basketball, mostly because of him and what he's doing. As far as Kyrie, I just felt like we're just glossing over, you know what I mean, what the 3 week hiatus that my man went on. Like that don't mean nothing. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be an all-star, but I just felt like there could have been another guy that could have got this. They could have got the nod over Kyrie just because of the hiatus that he took. You know, that's it.
So
That's it.
here's why I think we look at the hiatus and say, you know what? He shouldn't be. But here's what I said he should. He played 21 games. Out of that 31, he played 21. More than KD, who is a starter. KD is a starter. They voted him in as a starter, right? He played more than KD. He give you 28 a game. If KD gonna be a starter, I have to say Kyrie is a starter because Kyrie played more games than KD, and he give you 28 a game. KD, I know it's COVID, you know what I mean, everything like that. But Kyrie said it was mental. Kyrie said he needed to get his mental in check. It was mentally, he was mentally off.
I ain't got no issue. Again, that was the only argument that I could make against him. Like people were making arguments like, man, why is Kyrie starting? I had no issue with Kyrie starting. The only argument you can make on him is that. That's the only argument that I could come up with is why he should be starting.
Right, should be a starter.
It's because he took the hiatus. Other than that, I felt like all three Brooklyn guys should probably be starting.
Yeah, I just think the media don't like Kyrie, and rightfully so. They probably don't like him. Kyrie does do some off the wall stuff, yeah, I mean, but Kyrie is on the court in between the lines, man. He's been solid this year. I think he's having the best year of his career. And I agree with you. I think that Luka should not have been a starter. It was a fan vote, but Dame, Luka's team is, let me pull it up real quick. 14. The last time I checked, I think they're like 14 and 15 or something, at 13 and 15. And Dame's team is 18 and 10, which is the fourth seed in the West. Oh, they have no CJ. Oh, they have no Nurk. Oh, and they lost the other big guy that they high on. What's his name again? I forget his name. Zach, I think. Zach Collins. Luka, I know Luka. Haven't had Dwight Powell and Josh Richardson and stuff like that. Okay, that's cool. I get it. But your other All-Star, he been there. And the other guy you got, he been playing like All-Star too. Dame hasn't had his 1B. Or he hasn't had his Dame hasn't had his second or third best player.
Yeah, I'm with you. I felt like Dame should have been the starter in the West over Luka. I have no issue with Kyrie. If you're gonna make an issue with Kyrie, it's only because he went on the hiatus. That's it.
And he don't like the media, and the media don't like it.
Anything the world's flat.
You think the world flat. But other than that, man, Kyrie, man, you good with me. Let's get to this. Let's get to the real question of the day. Let's get to the real topic of the day. Meek Mills.
My man
Meek. His bar. I'm going out with my chopper, like Kobe.
It'll be another Kobe.
Oh man, he got a lot of backlash for it. I'm gonna say this. I'm torn. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm torn on it. I think it's a hot line. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's a hot line.
I'm not touring on it, man. That's a bar. And to me,
it's a hot line.
And to me, I took it more of paying homage. Because he said he was going to go about shooting like Kobe. I didn't think he was talking. I mean, yeah, he died in a chopper helicopters. I understand that. But to me, he said he was going. When I listened, I was like, oh, man, he's saying he's going to go out shooting like Kobe. But he can make it have the double meaning because he did die in a helicopter crash. Yep. But that's how I took it. He was paying homage, like, yo, I'm gonna go out shooting like Kobe. Kobe always gonna go out shooting. It doesn't matter. He's gonna go out shooting. So that's how I took it, man. But at the same time, this is a sign of the times, man. You can't make jokes no more about. If you make a joke about anything, somebody's gonna be offended. He is rapping. We've talked about all types of people dying before in rap music. And now all of a sudden we can't no more. And then people are like, man, it's too soon. It's been over a year.
Yep.
It's been over a year. People like, how long before Kobe Bryant, you know what I mean? Like we could say stuff about him. Like I understood the whole, if it was something completely negative, like he didn't even say nothing completely negative. He just talked about how, if you took it that way, and talked about how he passed. I don't know.
Think about who it's about, right? If you're really a Kobe fan, Cole probably up there listening like, yo, run it back. Yo, that was hot.
Kobe a rap fan.
Bar.
He claimed Philly to be like, come on, like, yo, we gotta stop being so sensitive now, man. We gotta stop being so sensitive.
Definitely.
It's taking away.
Because I know Kobe Kobe banging that right now.
Artistic freedom.
Like for real. Like you said, that was a hot line, man, a hot bar. Hot, it's hot, you feel me? Again, like I said, I'm not saying it's too soon or anything like that. It's a hot bar, man. It's a hot bar. It's a hot line. Kobe would enjoy it. Kobe like it. Kobe the type that, like, when I remember when D-Wade tell the story, he smacked D-Wade in the D-Wade smacked him in the nose in the All-Star game. D-Wade was like, oh, bro, my bad. Kobe was like, I like it. It's cool. I love it. That's who he is, man. Like, Kobe ain't got no problem with it.
And again, I'm gonna keep it real. If Vanessa, you know what I mean, she got a problem with it, I can respect that.
Respect it.
I respect it. If his kids got problems, I respect it. His parents, I respect it. But you a random Facebook joker? What are you mad for? What are you mad for? Like you can say man, if Lime was disrespectful, cool. But this whole I see people talking about I'm deleting all of Meek's music on Apple. Really? Really? Because of that one bar? Come on, man. Like we go too far, man, with the cancel. This whole cancel culture stuff is gone. It's
It's
gone
a
too far.
metaphor, like you said. It's a metaphor. It's a line. It's something that everybody uses in hip hop. It's a great metaphor, bro. Like Kobe. It just so happened Kobe died in the chopper, and can I be real? Can we be real? Kobe died doing something that he loved.
Yeah, he was trying to coach his girls, man.
And he took his helicopter. It was routine.
Yeah, and again, it wasn't like Meek said anything that was
Derogative.
completely derogatory and nothing like that. Like, was it maybe a little disrespectful? But I don't think it was that bad. That
I don't
everybody's
think it was
making
disrespectful
big.
at all. Kobe went out in a chopper. Like, again, Meek just saying, I'm going out doing something I love.
Man, like I said, man, I thought it was a decent bar, man.
He's the most hated rapper in the industry right now, anyway. So,
but the thing about it is, this is right on a piggyback of him and Tekashi having the the word sparring match. So it's like, man, it's weird. It's just weird, man. It's just the culture it's the times that we live in.
Yeah, Meek, yeah. Shout out to Meek, man. Meek doing this thing, man.
Keep barring, Meek. Keep barring, man.
Keep doing your thing, Meek.
Keep barring, Meek.
Keep doing what you're doing for the city as well, man. Meek doing this thing, so that's our show, man. I don't know if we missed anything or if we had anything else to talk about. Again, if y'all like the show, enjoy the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. It's a show. This is the part where we do our final thoughts. My final thought going to be based off of what we just talked about with the Meek Mills, and the culture that we live in. It's okay to be in touch with your feelings and to be sensitive, but when we be overly sensitive, man, that's where we can take things the wrong way. That's when we can misconstrue somebody's meaning and motive. If you have any issue with what anybody says, man, or with anything, if you're offended by somebody, the best thing to do about it is to ask them to talk about it. My final thought is stop being super sensitive. Stop letting everything get you down, and stop dwelling there. Instead, talk about it. Get clarity, and let's move forward, man. It's my final thought.
I'm with you. My final thought, it's a little local, but it's a shout out to all of my friends, family members that played any sports at Wesley College after the announcement that they were going to be doing away with athletics, the Division III school here in Delaware. But it's given a lot of guys around here opportunities. I know guys from Pennsylvania that's come down here that Wesley gave them an opportunity to continue their playing career and get an education. So to see that this school is not ready to be done with athletics is a little heartbreaking. You know what I mean? Because a lot of kids locally that may have been their only opportunity to go and continue playing sports at the college level, man. So it's a little heartbreaking, but man, shout out to all of the alumni, family, and friends of Wesley College athletics, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can't say nothing else about it. Again, that's our show. If y'all want to be on the show, make sure that y'all go to our Facebook page. Our link tree is in there. You can find out everywhere we are. Till next time, y'all. If there's anything that you want to talk about, We'll speak up on any domestic, anything that's cultural. We speak out about anything that's plaguing our culture. And then if it's sports related, we're gonna speak on it. So that's our show for the day. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Till next time, speak on it.
Peace.